Today, guys, we're taking a look at my fiance and I's brand new 2026 Outback Touring XT. Now, in this video, we're going to go through and talk about the interior, the exterior, all that common stuff that everyone has been talking about so far this week on the car reviews coming out about the new Outback. But we've got 100 miles on it now. We've had it about 24 hours, and we're going to do our first engine oil change on it and just go over the mechanicals of it, as well as how I like it driving down the road and how I like living with it here in the last day since we purchased it. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, as far as looks goes, the exterior of it goes, it's still very subjective if you despise it or like it. It has really, really grown on me. I did not like the split level headlight design, but again, really digging it now. It's a lot more boxy. It's a lot more SUV-like, less wagon-esque. We do have more ground clearance. We do have more headroom. And all around, it's just a better Outback. Whether you like that fact or not, it is. I know there's a lot of people that have not rode in one, have not driven one, have not seen one in person, that are drawing these conclusions that they don't like it and have wrote it off. But me, as a naysayer early on when the spy photos came out, and now owning one and driving one, even though it's less than 24 hours, I get it. I understand it. It's quieter, it's more refined, it's more luxurious, it's more capable, it has better ground clearance, it has more cargo room, more headroom. Everything is just better on this than the prior generations, and Subaru is getting better either with Toyota influence or on their own. Also, another great addition to this over the prior touring models, we actually have usable roof rails. Now, we don't get crossbars for some reason, which I think is a aggravating thing, but we have usable roof rails. On the prior touring model, you just had these little silver nubs that I think you could get crossbars for, or had to get external crossbars for, but was not usable as a Subaru for carrying cargo on the top. It was more of it was the touring model, it was the upscale model, it was the, more refined model. But this is all really growing on me. Just last night, coming in the driveway with the car illuminated, getting the gate and shutting the gate behind me, looking at the back end of it with just the taillight slid up, it reminded me of a Lexus. Now, I know that sounds insane. That sounds crazy to be comparing a Subaru to a Toyota or a Lexus, but at this angle, it's kind of reminiscent of a 4Runner. And at night, the taillights kind of remind me of a Lexus. There is Toyota Lexus influence in there. As we know, they own about 20% stake in Subaru. But, it's just, like I said, a better Subaru all the way around. More soft touch. Well, on my Touring XT model. The baser models, there's some things here and there that are a little quirky. But as far as the top line upscaled model for right at $50,000, you got my window sticker right here. It was $56.71. It's a nice place to be. It's comfortable. It's quiet. Air conditioned, heated seats. You got climate control in the rear. You got heated seats in the rear. I mean, just this was a big upgrade. The cup holders in the doors, having this carpeted material in here, it's great. Just for drivability's sake, comfortability, just living with it. The cell panel. This looks very high. You can't really tell in this video, but it illuminates backlit. It's just a piece of clear plexi or something, with mountains and Outback on it. But at night, it really pops, really looks great. This has been the best thing ever. This bolster here for the thighs. I mean, I'm right at 6'3", 6'4". I've got longer legs. So this seat in the Outback has been a savior. It's so comfortable. It's so much comfortable than prior Outbacks. It's very luxurious. I mean, look at the leather, look at the stitching on it, look at the pattern. This is not your box standard Subaru of the past, of old. It's not a base model econo all-drive car. They have added more revision for these upscale models, and I, for one, really like it. And if you don't like it, I really don't care, because it's my car and I really like it. I don't have my Yeti with me, but I've got a 42-ounce Yeti, like big cup, and it fits in these. Never in the Outbacks prior could I have dreamed of fitting that cup in the cup holder here in the driver door, but it accommodates it. Last night, fiance and I, we threw our Yetis in the door and went and got coffee, so we could put our coffee cups here and put our water in the door. And it just works. It's for that livability, that life out with the car. Memory function, finally, where I can set my preference, she can set hers, without having to move the mirrors, the seat, everything, every single time. Just push a button when I get in, push a button when she gets in. All-weather floor mats are great. They can add better coverage. You know, aftermarket solutions have a better, you know, coverage, goes further up the wheel, covers up more carpet, but it works. It was all included with this model. I mean, all this, way more upscale, way more refined. I keep saying this, but it really, really is. And advise any of you that are a naysayer and a Subaru owner, go test drive one of these when they come in. I know they're in short supply right now. We've been waiting on ours for about 2 months before it finally showed up. But before you really crap on this thing, go drive one, go try one out, because I think it'll change your mind. Just, like I said, living with it, just this small amount of time, the extra headroom, the extra comfort, the quiet ride, just, it's still a Subaru. It's still got the same all-wheel drive, the same CVT, the same boxer engine. All of that DNA of Subaru is still there and still prevalent. It's just more refined and more easier to live with day to day. And one accessory I just couldn't live without is my Rockform phone mount up here on the windshield, as well as the Rockform case that's on my iPhone 17 Pro Max. This thing is great, a little magnet. They've got one that's got wireless charging in it. The case is phenomenal. There's magnets on the back. I use it all the time working on vehicles to magnet my phone up with service information, what have you, or filming content from my videos. If you want to get your hands on them, I'll leave some purchase links down below. Just go to Rockform and use promo code Mr. Subaru 2025 to get a discount on these products. I got a lot of different mounts for motorcycles, for cars, for windows, for your AC vents to clip on if you don't want it on the windshield and in your line of sight. Just lots and lots of options. Really, really great. I've been using them for 3 generations of iPhone at this point and absolutely love them and will not go back to any other phone case. With this Touring XT, we got the blacked out Outback, all drive emblem, etc. Really do like the look of it, like the big Subaru letters down here. Just looks more aggressive, more SUV-like, less station wagon-like, you know, all those things I talked about prior. Now, I don't know if this is a special trim or if it just comes blacked out on the Touring XT model like I got, but I do like those touches. It's similar to like the Onyx Edition in the prior generation. At the rear here, there's a couple things I want to talk about. One, the opening speed of the hatch is much quicker than prior generations. It's quieter, it's smoother. They have the lift arm and struts basically made together, where prior it was separate dealings. The other thing is the new tonneau cover, new cargo cover. I personally am not a big fan of this thing. It's cheap, it's flimsy, it's meant for quick access. If you've got like packages, something you need to come back here. Before, you had to grab the roll connector or the roll cargo cover, pull it out of its detent and let it roll back with spring pressure. This you can just push into. It's bungee. It's just got some clips here. I understand this is much cheaper to replace than those roll cargo covers. Those things were $250 plus, and a lot of people would lose them. They were hard to store. You had to pull up the back and store them under here, and it was a pain to deal with. I understand that this is easier to deal with. It's got a zipper on it. You can bundle it up really easily, but it just looks cheap, and I miss the old cargo cover. I'm sure I'll get over it, but there is more cargo room back here. You're more squared off. Your entry is more straight. It's less tapered like a wagon, and you still have your quick access latches here to drop the back seats. I do think it's a little odd that they changed to those little straps at the seats instead of the plastic knobs, but you know, I'm not in the department for figuring out cost versus pros and cons for this kind of stuff. So they did it for a reason, I'm sure, but it is what it is. So I'm sure I'll learn to accept this cargo cover as it is. I mean, you can configure it in several different ways. As you see, there's the tonneau cover. You can make it a partition. You can make it a step cover off the back, or you can make it a hammock for hauling things. You know, it's multi-function. It acts as a cargo net and as the tonneau cover. I get that, but I just like the old spring-loaded roll covers. You know, just personally, that's me. But what do I know? What are your opinions on that? So guys, we're now inside the car. We're gonna do a little bit of a driving. This is so much nicer than the prior generations of Outback. It really does feel dare I say, Lexus-ish. Like, the wind noise is so much more improved over prior Subarus. Now, it's not silent in here by any means going down the road, but it's much more quieter than any other Outback before it. Nice soft leather on the wheel. We've got soft touch material on the dash here, up here, hard up here. Nice leather on the doors. Nice soft on the armrest here. Just so much that they have revised the screen, massive screen, but it works. It's fast. It is not laggy like the old vertical screen. I really have liked this so far with Apple CarPlay. I don't have it connected right now because of the camera, but it really works really well. It is really big. The cluster, I did not like digital clusters until my C8 Corvette. It really grew on me very quickly. This one is very nice. You can cycle through several different parameters. The navigation here is loading right now for the maps, but when you have your Apple CarPlay on, your Apple Maps will show the navigation here in the cluster, so you don't have to look over at the map. You have a simplified view, a very simple view, and where I like to keep it, you've got your MPGs on demand. You've got all of your stuff like where your audio is, where your tire pressures are, all that kind of stuff from the prior generation Outbacks are here. The HVAC, thank goodness they finally gave us physical buttons back. It is separated from the head unit. Really like that division. That was one of the big things that sold me on this newer generation of Outback. The console is a little bit wider. You've got a little bit more room in here, more spaced out between your cup holders. You've got the camera views. You've got the top-down view. You've got your side views. You've got rear view. You've got the back. You've got the front. You've got just so many different views. Really convenient for parking, navigating around. You've got the wireless charging here for your phone. You've got the auto start stop button is now a dedicated button here in the console, so you don't have to hunt for it in the screen, which is nice that you can easily turn it off without having to go through the screen. Steering wheel controls and steering wheel is very similar to prior Subarus. Not much has changed as far as the button layout. Heated steering wheel, lots more refined, more comfort. You got a nice little shelf over here above your glove box. Glove box is pretty decently sized. Center console, pretty much the same as we've had in the past. A little cubby back here. The seating material is much nicer leather. Finally, ventilated seats. Really loved them in my Silverado. Did not have them in the C8, but really appreciate having them here. Automatic wipers, automatic high beams, like just a ton of luxury options or luxury feel options in this car. Here's another one, the rear view mirror camera, glass, flip it up, and you have the camera, so you don't have any obstruction to your view out the back. This is very weird. This looks like a sunglass holder, but it will not hold any adult-sized sunglasses I have tried to put in here. Sunroof, all that. Looking up here at the top, this is one of the huge things I like to see is finally we have black headliners in Subarus. Every other before had that kind of light gray in there, and they showed every bit of dirt in them, so having black up here is great for keeping it looking clean. But other than that, that's pretty much everything in the interior, sitting in the cockpit, sitting in the driver's seat compared to the walk around we did earlier. So let's go ahead and get on the road and do a little bit of driving. One really neat thing about the little Outback there in the center console, or the, not center console, in the center of the cluster, if you can see it, is that when you hit the brakes, the brake lights illuminate on it. You turn the turn signals on, it illuminates in it. And when you have someone in your blind spot, it'll show you that on that little display. Which I know prior generations of Outback had the little car in the center of the cluster, even all the way back to my 2015, but it didn't give you all of that. As you can see right there, maybe, I don't know how well the Osmo picks this up. You turn the blinker on, you see the blinkers blink on the little Outback in the display. Just a neat little addition there. Now, I would go through the Apple CarPlay and all that again, but cannot connect my phone to that while I have the DJI Osmo going. Very, very quiet in here. The first thing my fiance and I noticed was when we got on the interstate leaving Subaru South Charlotte that we didn't have to have the volume up very loud on the music to be able to hear. We normally listened in the high 20s, low 30s in the 2015 Outback, and we could comfortably hear the music at 8 or 10 on this system. And I haven't even gone through changing any of the sound settings, anything like that. It's pretty much box standard. All we did last night, because it was so late leaving the dealership, was pair my phone for Apple CarPlay so we could navigate, and that was about it. I haven't really gotten time to do anything as far as setting up. There's that what I was talking about that little display down there showing when someone's in the blind spot, as well as you get your yellow light there inside of your rearview mirror as you had before. Now, super annoying to me so far has been the eyesight system, which you guys know I'm not a fan of the eyesight system. I think it's almost too much of a nanny. The camera inboard looking at you anytime I look down, look to the side, look at the HVAC control. Heck, the other day I was riding through a parking lot and we were looking at the building just out the side window, and it kept coming up, keep your eyes on the road, keep your eyes on the road. Yes, it's nice to keep drivers from being distracted, but when you're distracting them while they're distracted, it's a little bit much, in my opinion. But my fiance loves the feature for when I drive. So, other than that, I have not tried out I believe they call it Super Cruise. I might get the vernacular wrong from Subaru, but they have the cruise control. We all have the regular eyesight cruise control where it keeps the distance, all that stuff. But with the Touring XT model, they have hands-free cruise control. Now, it's not like the cruise control in a Tesla or something like that, like autopilot, but on geo-fenced highways, you can set your speed and it will do the steering for you, hands off the steering wheel, as long as you're in a geo-fenced highway. Now, I've tried it just here in town, and it does not work. It will give you a green rather than a blue. It has to go blue to be hands-free, so have not got to try that feature out. Salesman did say that it might need a software update for that to activate on this car, because it literally came off the transporter. We purchased it, they washed it, and that was about it. You will see right now that I need to go back Monday and get an alignment, as the steering is off about 4 or 5 degrees to the left. The wheel is not straight in the car. That is the only issue I've noted so far mechanically. But like I said, Monday, as soon as Subaru opens, I'll be taking this back up to get that alignment done to straighten out the steering wheel. So again, very quiet, very comfortable, very happy with the car thus far for the first 100 miles. Now that we got the car up to temperature, got our 100 miles in, we'll go back and do our first oil change. Now, I know a lot of you are shaking your head. Why are you changing the oil at 100 miles? As I did on my 2019 WRX when I bought it, as I did on my C8 Corvette when I bought it, and basically every new vehicle I've ever owned or new engine I've installed on a brand spanking new engine, I don't care what the manufacturer says about going 6,000 miles for your first oil change. Always, any engine builder will tell you, get the thing up to operating temperature, change the oil filter at bare minimum. Run it 100 miles, change the oil and filter, 500 miles, 1,000 miles, 2,500 miles, 5,000 miles, and then 5,000 miles after. You want to get all of that material out of the engine, out of the oil, as the bearings break in, bed in to the crankshaft, as the camshafts wear into the cylinder heads. All of that stuff creates little particles of metal as it wears and establishes wear patterns against the metal. All those little particulates get suspended in the oil. I don't want that stuff circulating through the engine. The more you can flush that out, change that filter, change that oil, and keep those particulates to a minimum during the initial break-in process will allow the engine to seal better, for everything to harmonize better, and just keep those particulates out of your oil and keep them from acting as an abrasive on those bearing surfaces, on those wear surfaces as they break in. Whether it's true or not, 100% just undisputed science, I don't know, but that's what I've always heard in building engines, breaking in engines, right or wrong. That's what I do, so that's what we're going to do. So now up under the hood, getting ready to do this first oil change. Lots of little Easter eggs here. Subaru since 1966. Got it over here in Japanese. We've got pretty much the same FA24 under the hood. Not sure how many differences, mechanically speaking, we have between this and the prior generation. One thing I can happily report is in the non-turbo applications, the dreaded thermal control valve, the TCV, is gone. Subaru learned a lesson and took it off the Forester redesign and have taken it off of the Outback, now with a mechanical thermostat once again. So we'll go ahead and get ready to do this oil change. One note I believe is different now is 020 in the FA24s rather than 530 synthetic. Looks like we've got a little bit of interference with our AC line here and our AST Subaru oil funnel, which is really sad. See if we can get the thread in there without putting too much stress or strain. But apparently we cannot. It really sucks. So hopefully with two hands I can get it on there. But our same AA170 oil filters we have here. I'm gonna get under there, do the oil change, 4.8 quarts. Go ahead and get this original break-in oil out and get some fresh in there. And thankfully, using both hands to lightly push down on the AC line, we can still use the AST Subaru oil funnel in this new FA24 in the new chassis. On to our first look underneath the new Subaru Outback. We've got our oil drain plug, easy to access, as well as our exhaust manifold right here. Splash shield is not in the way, not covering that. It's not near it like how on the prior generations it kind of encompasses this, and oil would splash inside of this plastic shield. We also have aluminum lower control arms now, so that's an upgrade on the Outback model. Everything other than that pretty much looks box standard Subaru as far as the strut, sway bar end link, sway bar, tie rods, the steering rack, all of that pretty much looks the same since 2015 with slight variations. We got our CVT back behind there with the pan, single exhaust back. I think it splits the duals. I haven't even looked underneath. That's how much I looked at this thing before starting. Like I said, I've only had the car for less than 24 hours at this point. So let's go ahead and crack this drain plug, get the oil change started, and we'll come back and finish it up. Let's see how much of a mess we make getting this drain plug off of here. If the oil is gonna get on that exhaust manifold. Really had that drain plug on there tight. Looks like it's gonna spray right here onto this piece, but we shall see. Well, came out pretty good. Also fairly dark for only 100 miles. So go ahead and get this draining out, get a fresh oil and filter on. And a new crush washer. Glad to see the 17mm headed drain plug on here. All right, all the oil is drained out. We got a new crush washer on here. Go ahead and put a drain plug back in. We'll let our oil filter drain out. Go ahead and get a new one. A little bit of oil spilled over here. Try to keep this thing as nice and pretty and new as long as possible. So go ahead and torque that to spec and wipe this off and get back topside. All right, so oil filter should be pretty much drained down now. I'm gonna keep this to cut open and look for any sparklies in for the break-in. And we'll take our Subaru Genuine oil filter, spin that back on. And put 4.8 or might as well 5 quarts of Subaru Edometsu 020 in it. And we'll go ahead and fill her back up. So our oil's in there, everything's topped up, ready to go. Let's go ahead and prime our oil filter with a clear flood mode crank. Oh, which is a little different to do on these. Foot on the brake, gas pedal fully depressed, push button to start cranking. Looking for the oil pressure light to go out. And it went out. Our oil system is primed. Foot off the gas, back on the brake, and start as normal. That's how you start them without getting any of that timing chain rattle on startup after an oil change. And our oil is properly filled. Well, it was, and held the dipstick up trying to get the camera going, but it was right at the dot right there, as it should be. So looking at the mechanicals under the hood, everything looks pretty much box standard as it has in prior generations. Configuration of stuff or placement of stuff might be a little bit different, but everything's pretty much in the same location. Top mount intercooler, throttle body, intake manifold, alternator, AC compressor. Down at the bottoms are turbocharger, water pump, oil filter, oil fill, coolant reservoir, radiator cap, washer fluid, brake fluid, all of the standard stuff on a Subaru. Airbox here with the snorkeled intake. Pretty much every Subaru's been for the longest amount of time. And seems pretty easy to get at everything. I don't think that the spark plug access is any more restricted than any prior Subaru model. So servicing should be fairly simple, as Subarus have always been. Looks like we do have a little bit bigger battery in there. I don't remember the group size of the prior generation with the battery draining issues, but I believe that should be resolved at this point. Other than that, mechanically, driveline wise, it's pretty much the same as it's been, other than a few tweaks here and there. So guys, there you have it. There's my initial thoughts and feelings on this car within 24 hours of ownership. I know there's a ton of videos out there reviewing this more in depth than I have. People that review cars for a living, I definitely don't do that. I'm just giving you my real world experience with a car I purchased myself rather than a press car Subaru provided for me and flew me out to California to beat on, drive, and review. So they might be a little more inclined to give you positives only. I feel like I've given a pretty good review of it and my initial thoughts and feelings on it within that first 24-hour window, but there will be more videos to come on this car. It will be added to the channel, maybe some modifications, talk to Cobb Tuning, and a couple other Subaru performance outlets at SEMA on potentially kitting this thing out, maybe an exhaust, maybe a tune, intercooler, some other stuff to make it a little bit more fun. So keep your eyes on the channel for advancements on this 2026 Outback Touring XT. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future Subaru and Tool content. I'll see you guys in the next one.